Hey, Austin, now you can get up to 10 LG Stylo 2 smartphones for your whole family on Sprint. You just have to activate 2 or more smartphones on any plan, and if you choose the Unlimited Freedom plan from Sprint, you can enjoy it on your new LG Stylo 2. Don't miss this and other great offers at the Sprint Says Thanks event this Saturday, October 22nd. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 1-800-SPRINT1 today. Coverage and offer not available everywhere. Subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Excludes taxes, surcharges, roaming, and premium content. $0 per month after $10 monthly services applied within 2 invoices. Requires 24-month installment billing agreements for well-qualified customer purchasing at least 2 devices with at least 1 new line activation. Tax due at sale. Early termination results in remaining balance at full price due.
Okay, so we're back. I had to slog through 15 minutes of issues here with some browser material. Okay, I can be heard now. Great, we're back. Thank you, Blog Talk Radio, for your assistance. I appreciate it. And we are rolling live. And we're going to get a thank you here, I think, from our friends at Blog Talk, and we can, no, I'm good with time on the clock. Let's just let it roll. Thank you very much, Sherry. I appreciate your help, and we are ready to rock and roll. So this is the vagaries of technology in the modern age. Most of the time, it's pretty good and it works. Sometimes when it doesn't, we have to be on our toes, be nimble, like ninjas. Take care of business. So it's taking care of business. Today's show is brought to you by RobertPhoenix.com, your source for all things astrological, prophetic, divine, and timely. And now here's your host for 15 Minutes of Flame, Robert Phoenix. Hey, I'm back. You know, it's kind of funny when you don't have the music to come into and fire you up, and you go through a few of these little hoops to jump through. You kind of have to reset timing, reset websites, whole 9 yards. Okay, let's go over what's happened in the last 24 hours, because this is really kind of the context of the show. Last night, Julian Assange, who again, I'm not totally sold on Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. You know, to me, it has always smelled as a limited hang, but clearly, over the course of the last couple of months, they've been introducing some very powerful stuff when people can get the material to Julian Assange before they die. The DNC stuff was amazing. I mean, it was amazing. Did it really change anything? Not necessarily. I mean, that part for me might be the most disheartening, because here comes all these emails from a DNC staffer who's now dead. And basically, there's the smoking gun, not pointing at him, but him pointing the smoking gun at the Democratic National Committee, and how they decided they were going to essentially run the Sanders campaign right into the ground, pissed off millions and millions of voters, people who were looking for an ideological match with Bernie Sanders, found that their efforts were being squashed at every turn by the same kind of power brokering, fear mongering, and monopolizing consciousness that they would often assert that the Republican Party would be guilty of. If you go to Cleveland, what happened in Cleveland during the Democratic convention, There were angry, and I mean angry, Sanders supporters. They were pissed off. They were walking out. There were big chunks of empty space at the convention. And by the end of the convention, they were bussing in people from Craigslist, making $50 a night to go hang out at the Democratic National Convention and clap and wave and let go balloons on cue. Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to step down. But where did she go to? She just went right over to the Clinton campaign. She was up for re-election in Florida. What happened? She won. I mean, it's kind of disheartening because here we have all of this proof and nothing changed. Nothing. And instead, what happened is you had a deeper sense of demoralization if you were a Sanders supporter. Then what did Bernie Sanders do? Not a goddamn thing. He took a knuckle sandwich to the eye, roughed him up a little bit probably. And he's done nothing but support Hillary Clinton from that point forward. And I love the fact that there were Bernie Sanders supporters months ago saying, oh, just wait. It's early still. He's got something planned. No, there was nothing planned. The only thing that was planned was for him to take his money and go buy a new house on a lake in Vermont. That's it. So yes, WikiLeaks in the last few months has been important. We've seen things. We've gotten X-ray looks behind the scenes that we've never had before, at least not in this way. Is it making a difference? Is it hitting critical mass? Well, now we've got incredible amounts of emails, and Assange is not done. Now, he may be severely limited, and I'm sure that they have planned for this, that they have provisional plans, and that Assange is not going. It's a decentralized network. So they can go in and they can cut his cable, which they've done. He can't get any outside communication now. They've isolated him. They've isolated him technologically. Now, I don't know how that's going to impact the Ecuadorian embassy. You know, normally Assange comes out on the balcony and he kind of waves at people. Like, here I am, I'm still here. Reminds me of like the Banana Republic dictators on the balconies of their villas, coming out and waving to the public, to the masses. Hello, I love you so much. I mean, it's not quite like that. You know what I'm saying, though? There's that kind of feel and vibe to it. But now he's isolated physically and he's also isolated technologically. Apparently there are other things in motion, that the cables will go through another process. How Assange communicates with the rest of the world is to be seen. So perhaps what they're trying to do at this point is stem the tide of any further damaging emails. And there are plenty. The latest batch has some real doozies from John Podesta, another one of the high-ranking officials inside Hillary Clinton's campaign. Again, basically telling the world that Hillary doesn't think much of the average American, and that they actually need to address it early on in the campaign. Because if they don't address it early on in the campaign, it will fester and it will come up. These people are masters at psychology. They've read all of Bernays' books, Alinsky's books. They all think they're the smartest people in the room. And by addressing something, you can kind of diffuse it, both from the public perception, but also from a psychological component inside of Hillary Clinton. That's how sophisticated they are. There's also some very strange emails in this last batch of WikiLeaks where they're talking about Scalia and Wetworks. Wetworks means murder. That's what Wetworks means. They were not referring to the pool behind the vineyard in Chibolo, Texas. Very strange stuff. And lovely little Chelsea basically said, oh, great, now that Scalia is dead, we can take the guns away. I mean, this is all coming out. Mainstream media is completely, and I mean completely, putting all of the WikiLeaks material in a hazmat container. I saw an interview recently, I think it happened just over the weekend, with Martha Raddatz. Boy, has Martha Raddatz been just completely elevated during this election cycle? And and I've been watching these people. I've been watching CNN and MSNBC, and I've been watching their interviewing tactics. They are not interviewing tactics. Do you know what they are? They are interrogation tactics. These people are being schooled on interrogation, not interviewing. Not interviewing. I watched Martha Raddatz interview, what's his name? Oh, I'm having a blank moment now. Newt Gingrich, thank you. Not somebody I think about very often. She was interviewing Newt Gingrich, and I don't like Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich was the author of NAFTA. You know, there's no way Trump would let that guy get anywhere near the White House, even though they are related. Yes, they are. There's no way Gingrich gets anywhere close to the White House. He also left his wife when she had cancer for another woman. Sorry, I've got I don't, in the world I live in, you don't do that. You just don't. But that said, Newt Gingrich is, even though he's advanced in age, he's smart. He is very smart, and he has, rolled up his sleeves, and he has fought in the political octagon of Washington, D.C. for the last 50 years, roughly, 40. He started off with Nixon. That's how far back he goes. Newt Gingrich goes back to Nixon. And he handled Martha Raddatz. And Martha Raddatz just kept coming after him about Trump in the video and women, Trump in the video and women, and relentless and repeating it over and over again. Even though Gingrich would try to change the discourse and the conversation, she wouldn't let him. These are interrogation tactics. They are not interview tactics. Who's working with these people? Who is working with these people? Anyway, Gingrich made a comment that I thought was important, and it's one that most of you probably already know. The average amount of time that the network news shills are spending on WikiLeaks is around 2 to 3 minutes versus 21 minutes to Trump and the latest lady scandal. It is wholly disproportionate. And Gingrich got to this. And of course, they had a video ready to go where Trump said, hey, trust me, she wasn't all that great. And it's not a great look. It is not a great look. And Gingrich basically said, look, there are two Trumps. There's little Trump and there's big Trump. That's little Trump. Big Trump is different. Big Trump has an understanding of the issues. He needs to put little Trump in the background for a while. I mean, I thought that was a fairly representative way, cogent way of describing a Gemini with Uranus conjunction, that there would be two of him. Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with WikiLeaks and how the information gets distributed moving forward. I think that's the big piece. And whether or not they're trying to cut Assange off from his, not just his material, but his levels of support and his infrastructure. That's another important piece here as well. Speaking of support, we've got about 2 minutes left in the show. This Thursday in Phoenix, Arizona, it's Michelle Obama and Tim Kaine, not Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine, Michelle Obama and Tim Kaine, quote unquote, in support of Hillary. What is that all about? Well, I'll tell you what it's all about. If there is a scenario down the line where Hillary Clinton cannot complete her term in office, that means Tim Kaine will become president, and the vice president's slot will be open, and he can appoint anybody. Anybody. Just remember that. And remember the fact that on this Thursday, after the debate, by the way, the debate's on Wednesday, Michelle Obama and Tim Kaine. Now, the debate is in Las Vegas, Nevada. How far away is Phoenix from Las Vegas? It is a 30-minute plane ride at the most, and yet it's going to be Michelle Obama and Tim Kaine together in Phoenix, Arizona. Cue up Stevie Wonder and cue up Paul McCartney. That's your 15 minutes of flame for today. I'm Robert Phoenix.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Hey, Austin, now you can get up to 10 LG Stylo 2 smartphones for your whole family on Sprint. You just have to activate 2 or more smartphones on any plan, and if you choose the unlimited Freedom plan from Sprint, you can enjoy it on your new LG Stylo 2. Don't miss this and other great offers at the Sprint Says Thanks event this Saturday, October 22nd. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 1-800-SPRINT1 today. Coverage and offer not available everywhere. Subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Excludes taxes, surcharges, roaming, and premium content. $0 per month after $10 monthly services applied within 2 invoices. Requires 24-month installment billing agreements for well-qualified customer purchasing at least 2 devices with at least 1 new line activation. Tax due at sale. Early termination results in remaining balance at full price.